Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Daruma Dialogues.
Daruma Dialogues ni yokoso.
Now, today I'm going to explain a Japanese grammar point that was asked about by Can Simon on the last Daruma Dialogues video. He asked me, how do you say, I do this so that I can do this, right? So X in order to Y, or X so that I could Y, or so that I can Y. Now, this is a great question. When I was learning Japanese, this was one of my questions too. You get to a certain point and you're like, I just need to be able to say this. So here it is. The grammar point that you're looking for is yo ni. Here's the example first in English. I studied really hard in order to pass the test.
I studied really hard in order to pass the test.
I studied really hard in order to pass the test.
So studied really hard is X. Pass the test is Y. Here it is a little different in English. I studied really hard so that I could pass the test.
I studied really hard so that I could pass the test.
I studied really hard so that I could pass the test.
In Japanese, when you do this, you're going to switch the X and the Y. So the Y comes first. The pattern is Y, yo ni, X. Here is your example in Japanese. Shiken o goukaku dekiru yo ni yoku benkyou shimashita.
Shiken o goukaku dekiru yo ni yoku benkyou shimashita.
Shiken o goukaku dekiru yo ni yoku benkyou shimashita.
So here's that example again. Shiken o goukaku dekiru. It's our Y. Yo ni. It's our grammar point. Yoku benkyou shimashita. And that's our X. Alright, so one more time. Shiken o goukaku dekiru yo ni yoku benkyou shimashita. Alright, and in English we flip that so it's X first, Y last. I studied really hard so that I could pass the test. I studied really hard in order to pass the test. Alright, and finally, our word of the day is benkyou. Alright, benkyou means study. Alright, now this kanji would be usually be followed by the verb suru, to do. Alright, so benkyou suru, to study. Alright, benkyou shimashita, I studied. And remember, our example was yoku benkyou shimashita, I studied really hard. Also, we finished the dead skin video for Ghost of Matsubara. So please go check out the music link. Some great YouTubers are in it. Rachel from Rachel and June is in it. Victor, Give Me a Flake Man, Give Me a Break Man, Japanese for Morons, and also Regan in Japan. I think unfortunately, I read that he went back to Australia, which kind of sucks, but he's in the video too, and it's a really fun video. Lots of zombies, and it's a good time. Alright, thank you very much for hanging out and watching another episode of Daruma Dialogues. If there is another Japanese grammar point that you want me to talk about, please leave it in the comments below. Remember, always do your best, and I'll talk to you later. Itsumo ganbare, mata asobo! Yoku benkyou dekiru. 試験を合格できるように